Mama told me when the thunder comes that a drunk donkey be coming on for me to listen to what he'd say. If I did song, it'd help me through stormy days. I can get the simple weatherman gets a survey, never understand. I can get the simple weatherman. You can catch him on the show, Tom and Dan. That's right.
All right, hey, what's up? Good morning, everybody. I see our regular crew, Casper, back in the cone again. I guess we could play that one. Let me put my camera on, make sure I'm streaming. Supporting the Rays today. Got my Rays shirt on. We got baseball back. So yeah, we're back to normal, sorta. I'm gonna buy a cutout. So Ashley, one of our fans, sent me a picture of the drunk donkey mask. I got some coming, so I'm gonna take a picture of me wearing the shirt. I think it's gonna be here today, and I'm gonna buy the cardboard cutout for the Rays and see if I can get on TV. That would be so cool, right? They said no advertising, so I don't know if that's considered advertising or not. But I know a couple of the Rays guys, so maybe they'll let us slide and get on TV, right? So, hi, let's see, our chat's working. Good morning. We got our normal crew. We got a bunch of people popping in today. So, I'm Mike from Mike's Weather Page, in case we got any new fans. I know the Tropics are always brings in the not so regulars. So, we got a lot to talk about in the Tropics. Definitely two things to watch and a third thing coming in from behind. So the golf, I went to bed last night, and overnight, the Gulf is now Tropical Depression 8. So we're going to go right into that. I'm going to talk about Tropical Depression 8, then we'll talk about Gonzalo, and then we'll this camera angle. I gotta make it just a tick smaller. I don't want to be a big head. Julie says I get a big head sometimes. So let me make my head smaller. I just shrunk my head. There we go. It's okay to have a little head in the morning, just big head. No, little head. Never mind. All right. So, let's start out by thanking our Mango Man. All right, that was just posted. ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Supporters of the page and big local Florida homegrown like Mike's Weather Page. So, big thanks to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. The official party store of our page, Drunk Donkey Nation. I always look for a picture of the day, and that one looks pretty good. That was posted 19 hours ago. So a little mango margarita start today, thanks to ABC. And that did not go where I wanted it to go, by the way. So hopefully I did not offend anybody. Because talking to Tom and Dan, as a matter of fact, let me show you. So we were on Tom and Dan yesterday. And I had to expand my background because my first podcast, I had my head like I normally do, big head. And then I looked at the Tom and Dan show. I was on the Tom and Dan show yesterday. This will be showed tomorrow, by the way. I was like, they don't really zoom on their head. So I gotta, so that was cool. So if you're in the Orlando area, you'll be able to catch the Tom and Dan show tomorrow. I was on there. I was in the studio. And, man, it was a lot of fun. We talked weather for 39 minutes or so. So that's going to be a cool little segment. I hope you enjoy it. It's on the Twitch right now if you want to check it out. But there's me with Tom and Dan. So that was a lot of fun. So check that out. Thanks for those guys for the opportunity for that. So we got a lot to talk about. One last thing here. This is my Instagram page. I posted this earlier. It's so ironic. So all year long we've been talking about blobs and squalls. And let me show you this shirt here. Right here. Here it is right here. This little guy, check this out. So all year long we've been talking about how the Gulf has produced these storms. And we'll go right into Tropical Depression 8 here in a second. Promise. Let me close some windows here. See what you guys are saying. So we've had enough. Come on. Pop open Facebook. There we go. It's trying. You can never open Facebook while you're streaming on Facebook. It's always extremely slow. But anyway, so the Gulf this year, through the wintertime, through springtime, we've always watched these storms coming across Texas, Louisiana, and explode in the Gulf. And for some reason, the Gulf has been extra juicy this year. And, you know, we made a shirt because it's all been fun talking about blobs and squalls. And now they're not going to show me. So who knows? I'll show another day. There's our girl Shelly, our Facebook correspondent. All right, so let's get into weather. I'll show you the blobs and squalls later. So here's the Weather Nerds map. All right, so we're going to get right into what's cooking. This is a great map on weathernerds.org, and we got 3 things cooking. We got a big low pressure area coming off Africa. We'll talk about that last. We'll talk about Gonzalo second. We'll talk about now it's Tropical Depression number 8. So here's the latest and greatest. All right, so overnight, here we go. We got a cone out, back into cone again. Tropical storm expected for our system in the middle Gulf. All right, timing is going to be Saturday morning to Saturday, early afternoon, possible landfall. The effects of this, like we mentioned last night, upper Louisiana, upper Gulf Coast, we're going to start seeing our spinning squall lines start reaching you maybe as late as or early as tonight, and definitely tomorrow. So just because our cone is heading towards Texas, north side of the system is going to bring impacts up into the upper Gulf to watch. So I'm going to show you some estimated radars, some other stuff. Brandon, that was my beeper. You're right if you're talking about mine. Hey Stephanie, thanks. What's up, Chris? We'll show the puppies for sure. Where are the puppies, Julie? I promise we'll show the doggies here in a little bit. All right. So here's what we're going to have to worry about with this guy. So we're going to talk about all the impacts, I guess, Tropical Depression number 8. Let's look at some estimated rainfall. This is all official stuff from the National Weather Service. You can see the rain impacting all the way up into Mississippi, around the coastal areas. And I was showing the Euro a lot yesterday. The Euro did a good job showing our system staying more south into lower middle Texas. So we're going to have to watch for rains here across middle Texas. That was something that wasn't shown a few days ago. The Euro's been all over it, and now the official forecast shows that. So not only is it going to be a threat to the top here of the Gulf with squally weather tonight and tomorrow, we're going to have a rain threat going inland. So I'll show you some of that too. Flood maps, spaghetti models. Here's spaghetti models, latest spaghetti models. Very good gradients. We have a high pressure to our north. That's going to keep our system spinning to the west. Now, if I don't screw up east and west at least once, then it's not a good show. That's why a little trick. Don't tell anybody. But when I pause before I say east and west, it's because I usually screw it up. And half my post, I post wrong: north, east, south, and west. I don't know. It's so hard. I went to college, promise. But so anyway, they're going west. All right. So here's some of the latest models. All right. So I posted a little bit ago things to worry about or watch for. Not worry. We always talk about these Gulf blobs. If TD8 didn't have spinach, we wouldn't have a possibility of tropical storm, even possible hurricane. The fact that we're starting to get some vorticity and some spin in this means now it can really try to start ramping up. The current shear in the Gulf of Mexico is almost non-existent. So that's one positive going for TD8 to strengthen. Okay. The other thing that's going positive, of course, is the hot water, and your sea surface temperatures are smoking right now. So the hot water's there, and it's got a little bit of loop eddy to the south, and the ocean heat content map is not updating yet, but there is a little bit there. There's some more ocean heat content. So So those two factors alone, tell me that it's going to have 24 hours at least over water, and that's enough time to at least make a run at, possible hurricane strength. And here are some of the models that support that. Again, not to scare, not to hype, just pointing out the possibilities. Let's look at the spinach real quick. I want to see that, but this updates every few hours. We didn't have any spinach at all yesterday. Now look, we're starting to see low-level spin. And I always said, once this thing develops some low pressure spin, then it's on. And we're starting to see, really good 850 spin, even some mid-level spin. It's a little displaced right now, but nothing in the mid-levels yet. But it's inching its way north. So not 100% there yet, which is good news. We don't want this thing to pop a surprise. But there's another vorticity map showing 850, 500 millibar, a little less, but it's still there. So it's got that. All right, so some of your models we need to focus on real quick while I still have everybody's attention here in class, and then we'll show puppy. So we'll do a puppy break in between TD8 and Gonzalo. So there's a couple models here, little concerning. Nothing, we're not talking major hurricane, but from having blobby, rainy possibility yesterday to now this shows you now how the models were wrong twice. The models were wrong for Gonzalo, and they were wrong, especially wrong for this, proving Gulf blobs this season have actually been the storyline. So here's some hurricane specific models. These are not always obviously 100%, but could possibly be. This is Gonzalo. We want to go to 8. So here's your HWRF, and note the HWRF right at Saturday. Slow down a little bit because we're going to have that high pressure to the north. The steering currents aren't going to push it up, so it could slow down a little bit before landfall. That's going to give a little more time for this to enjoy those Gulf waters. So one model out of many, but 988 is possible hurricane. This is the HWRF right before landfall. This is Middle Texas. The HMON, the old GFDL model, showing a little stronger system. Again, these aren't solid end-all models. It's just you have two models supporting the idea that we could have sub 990 pressure, tropical depression 8, Hanna, Middle Texas, strengthening. So again, track, every storm's different. Sometimes track is very uncertain and you get a lot of disparity. This track is very locked into Middle Texas. So our big wonder is what's going to happen in the next 24 hours as far as pressure goes. So the HMON showing a little strengthening system. So there's two right there. Now your global models, again, have not done a very good job at all with this system. Terrible models. The Euro not even showing a closed low. It's just having it go, as a weak nothing. So the Euro, strike 2, buddy. We might have to send you back to the UK. No. Here's the GFS, latest 06. No closed low. So, one thing I always said over the years, you got to watch things in real time. Here's the CMC, little bit of sign, but nothing, nothing. So if you want to go by the global models and you want to go by the NHC forecast, we're looking at a middle of the road tropical storm, only 45 miles an hour. I'm just saying, watch out for possibility of this thing getting a little stronger. Here's the official speed, 45 miles an hour. So there's that. Let's take a look at the rain forecast. Let's see. The Euro, I think, is right as far as the rains go. Let's take a look at that. The rain map, they've been on this southern bend back into Texas. So, and another thing I do with models, I take models, different parts of every model, because the CMC sniffed it out. It's been real consistent. The Euro's been really good on this rain prediction, which now the other models are catching up. So here's the latest rain, and it backed off some of those crazy totals we saw from last night. So that's good. But here's your southern tip of Texas. So, it's likely going to track into the middle southern part of Texas and through the weekend. This is flash flooding territory. So there's your rain. A little less than last night. That's good because it was showing 12 inches plus. Your GFS having a really rough time on this system. It's not showing hardly any rain. So the GFS is doing a terrible job. Here's through Monday morning, GFS showing almost no rain in Texas. The models have been terrible this year. Watch things in real time. All right, then the official rain forecast. Look at that. So that makes sense to me. This is a good rain map. This is your NCEP WPC total rain, and that looks very likely to me. Coastal rains, Mississippi into Texas, and then where this thing decides to make landfall, Middle Texas, we're going to have rain scooting across. So that's your heaviest concentration of rain. Let's look at some future radar maps. Now we can get into the higher resolution maps with your NAM and see what kind of we'll have to get everybody, so we'll do this one and then we'll see. So here, well, God, I wish we could get more into south. All right, let's go southeast and then we'll zoom in on Texas. So here's some high resolution radar, and let's just let it all load. We should have 60 hours load here. So let me get all 60 hours. All right, so let me rewind it. I just went back to the future. All right, so here's our rain bands. We're already getting rain bands to the north. You know that. And let's look at live radar. So we're already getting the effects of Tropical Depression 8 along the upper Gulf Coast. For sure. Look at that. Look at that little guy. Look at that. Spinning. Not your classic storm, but we're definitely getting bands already trying to form here. So we got rain already up in the northern panhandle into Pensacola, Biloxi, New Orleans. So the heavy stuff though coming. Let me show you that. All right, so that's now. So as the day progresses, we're going to start to see the storm get a little closer, a little closer, a little closer, and then tomorrow morning, more heavier concentration storms. So again, that's what we talked about later tonight into tomorrow. We're going to start heavier bands as our system develops. The bands will get stronger and they will get a little more intense. So these bands we have today are just normal rain showers, but I suspect we're going to see some strengthening with our system because we're seeing 500, 850 millibar spinning. It's bound to. There's no reason it's not. The water's hot. There's no shear. There's no dry air. There's no dust. All the things it needs. So you get a little rough weather tomorrow morning. This is 9 a.m. So Louisiana tomorrow morning. Look at that. We're going to have, I haven't even looked at this yet, but I just knew it from last night. Look at that. So this is tomorrow afternoon. So our system is going to be pushing off to the west-northwest tomorrow. We're going to get these counterclockwise bands. So Louisiana, Mississippi, you're going to feel the effects of probably Hannah first tomorrow. And the Storm Prediction Center yesterday had nothing, and they still don't have anything as far as storms. So you got to remember the squalls. These things are going to produce squalls off the water, and they could be pretty intense. So I wouldn't be surprised you get tornado warnings tomorrow into Louisiana, even parts of maybe the Panhandle westward, because these squalls can develop. And so then let's go to the Texas side. God bless Texas. And let's see here and see what the radar there looks like. And as we go in time, so tomorrow morning we're going to be watching. Here's the rains tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. And then the rains are going to start inching their way towards Texas. And this model's doing really good. GFS has really failed. Failure, loser. Euro loser. But there you go. There's the heavy stuff, and it's going to have some spinning. Look at that. So that's tomorrow. This is Friday. This is overnight tomorrow night. So overnight tomorrow night, we're going to start to see our possible Hannah here drifting towards Texas, and there you go. So if you live in Texas, a little slow. It might be slowing down. That's going to give it just enough time to last minute strengthening. So, I'd love to rewind 5 days from now, even including myself probably, said this thing was going to be nothing. But nobody else in the world made shirts that said golf blobs, because we know the golf this year has produced. And every night, the last couple of nights, I show that lightning map, and it's amazing to see how the earth has been electric the last 2 days. So anyway, I haven't read the comments. I get into weather mode, and hey, Michael, what's up, buddy? Yeah, so I don't like to get distracted. Sorry. Last night I was wired. So Tropical Tidbits yesterday, our buddy Levi, I could not post yesterday, and I did post. I found a way around it. I shared my secondary page, Tropical Updates, and luckily I was able to share a photo, then edit that photo, but Levi wasn't able to post all day, and then another friend of mine, Shay Gibson, couldn't post. So it was definitely a Facebook issue yesterday, and it freaked me out because we were driving to the Tom and Dan show, and my buddy Phil and I was like, man, I can't post. I got to post, man. I got to post every 5 seconds. Puppy break, yeah. We're gonna get puppy break. So let me see if there's anything else we got to worry about with this guy. So we know it's gonna be rain. We know there's gonna be storms. We know we know the path. We know, we got all the graphics. I got the, again on my website, key messages. I mean, I got all these links, man. I spent a lot of time on this stuff. Everything you need. NHC discussion. It gets updated automatically. I'm very blessed. The NHC and National Weather Service endorses our page. So, it's cool. I got Weather Nerds graphics. I got Tropical Tidbits graphics. We got floaters. We got, live satellite, all the intensity models, all these live satellite models, and Weather Nerds, direct link to his site. So spend some time on it. Here's your microwave pass on Tropical Depression 8, showing a slow microwave imagery, showing a little bit more, structure. So all these links are live now, and you can take a look at them all. So Tropical Depression 8, we'll have to watch and see. So the blah 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 blah, the Elmer Fudd, the most important image of the day for Tropical Depression 8 is going to be the satellite, and we're going to be watching exactly what we see, if we see any convective outbursts of, and we're seeing a little white, a little purple. We'll be looking for lightning around the center. Right now, there's not a lot of lightning. Lightning is a sign of strengthening. So if we were to see one of these big convective cloud top bursts, white, purple, and we start to see little white dots, you're not having a 60s flashback on acid. You're seeing a developing Hannah. So there's that. All right, another cool graphic, and then we'll take a puppy break. Puppy break. Take a bathroom break. So this is a great tool. This is the College DuPage. I keep seeing DuPage. I think it's DuPont, but it's DuPage. And let's take a look. Really cool, localized. Do we have a mesoscale? No, we don't. So we got to go to regional. Here it is, right smack dab right there. So we could take a look at the satellite. And let's see if we see any cloud tops booming. And you kind of see it. There's all kinds of them, really. No clear rotation yet, but I'll tell you another good site I added this year up here. Cyclonic WX, Cyclonic Weather. He's got some red, green, blue, the old style. Let me close my windows here so I don't lose them. He's got something. Where is it? All right, way down here. Way down yonder here in the land. All right. And does he have it up yet? No, he doesn't. He doesn't have the satellites up yet. But he's got a cool tracker here. I like this graphic. This shows you plots of where Tropical Depression 8's been, where it's at. We're going to be getting hurricane hunters out there today, too, by the way. Here's some wind maps. These are always good. These are GFS plots of current winds and spinach. So that's just another good site. But he doesn't have the satellite up. I was hoping he had the red, green, blue satellite imagery. Let's see. Oh, here we go. There we go. I knew I'd find it. This one I like. The red, green, blue visible isn't coming up. None of them are coming up. That's because everybody just went to his site and just blew it up. All right, so here's the old. Well, we're not going to get a good visible right now because the sunshine just came up. So, but this is the old style red, green, blue. Now, back in the day before GOES satellites, we had these cool red, green, blue satellites where you can see the lower clouds and they were like a yellow. and you could really see the center, and you could see storms that were getting ripped apart. But so he's got the red, green, blue satellite imagery, which is great. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. So what page? All right, let me see what you guys got. What page, Whitney? Hey, Whitney, it's right up here. It's called Cyclone WX, right underneath. And I got all these cool links. I got the NOAA site. We got so many links on here. I forget sometimes. Here's the NOAA site. You can click on this one here. This is going to be click link overload. You can look at all the different ensembles. We haven't even looked at the UK. But here's the UK tracks. See, all the tracks are doing what the Euro showed. So the Euro did right as far as path. It just got the intensity wrong. But the basic path is a little curvature back to the west. That's very confident. High pressure to the north. So that's, and this is a cool site. We use that a lot. So, all right. So take a second here. Let me go get the puppies. I'll be right back because everybody's begging for the doggies. I got to get both of them. Where's Hunter? Hunter. All right. They're going to get mad at me. Come here, Hunter. All right. Here they come. 2 for 1. Bogo.
Why are you taking my dogs?
All right. It's Bogo. This is puppy break. Good thing I had pants on today. You would have saw that I didn't. All right, so here we go. There's the puppies that were sleeping. Hunter and Louie. They're brothers from another mother. 2 of the calmest, coolest Frenchies on the planet. Wake up, Hunter. I can do the whole show like this. So they're our boys. I'm going to do a shirt with the dogs. I'm working on a beer. Tom and Dan promised me they're going to try hard to get us a beer sponsor and make a beer. And I want them to be the new Spud McKenzie. I think it'd be a huge hit. This little guy. And it'd be cool. We could have meet and greets. Come meet the dogs and Mike. So there's Hunter. Got a little sinus infection. But I think sometimes the vets just kind of, because you have a new puppy, I think it's just standard that you just have to pay money every time you go to the vet. Right, Louie? You gonna wave? We're teaching everybody how you can wave. Okay, wave. Come on, wave, buddy. He's gonna do it one day. So, all right, that's our voice. All right, so we got to talk about another storm. All right, so Tropical Depression 8 is going to turn into Hannah. Maybe make a run at a hurricane. I'm saying, don't take your eyes off it, Louie. Hurricane Louie. All right. So there's our boy. Say goodbye. I gotta check him. He can go to sleep. This dog, watch. If I hold him for like 5 seconds, he'll close his eyes. But we got to talk about storms. I don't want to lose everybody. All our new fans think I'm nuts, probably. So I gave Hunter. Yeah, I gave Hunter less time. All right, so we got 5. I gave Louie 5 more seconds of airtime. So we got to give Hunter his 5 more seconds. There you go. 1, 2. And this one usually yawns. Do your normal yawn. Watch. Dogs do what people do, and if they see a person yawn, dogs yawn. I'm gonna prove that theory right now. Watch. Ready? Or they just look at you and think you're nuts. All right. Okay, so we talked enough about Tropical Depression 8. All right. So that's going to be fun to watch all day. We're going to be watching the satellite. All right. So the next storm we got to worry about is Gonzalo. And here you go. Here's the latest. So the NHC is hell-bent on calling this a hurricane very, 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 very soon. Now, looking at it satellite, it does not look very impressive. But I don't like to say the word spinach a lot, but this one's got some serious spinach. And as long as it has a core, it'll hang on. But here you go. Hurricane all the way into the Lesser Antilles. We got hurricane watches up now for the islands. Hurricane watch. That was something we, 4, 5, 6, 7 days ago. Remember we were talking about this wave? And the CMC was the only one showing it. As a matter of fact, I was looking at a little tidbit. I don't know if I'll be able, because the site's kind of slow when I look at it when I'm streaming, but I always like to look back at the history when we start talking about these things. And it was a long, long, long time ago. And that's a song, right? Long, long time ago. When did we first start talking about this one? Because it was interesting. We were like, hey. Anyway, I'll find it. It was pretty good because we were saying, hey, you know what? So anyway, all right. So officially, here's the miles per hour. It's supposed to peak at 85. You know, category 1, 2. And it's supposed to weaken to 45 on day 5. That's a huge weakening. So that's kind of the good news. The discussion, which I have not read yet, 2 distinct model clusters with different forecasts. The European models with Canadian indicate a weak cyclone moving westward, dissipate in 5 days. Other models showing a stronger cyclone getting close toward Hispaniola. And they're right down the middle. If I had $1 for every time the NHC said we're right down the middle, I'd have $1. But no, seriously, that's what they do. People ask why I post spaghetti models. Well, because the NHC uses spaghetti models. When you have a model doing this and a model doing that, they go right down the middle. So anyway, all right. So there's that. Let's look at some graphics here. Let's look at some. These are your Fresh 12Z spaghetti models. These are on tropicaltidbits.com. These just came out. 12Zs are your afternoon models. So there they go. High confidence of a slow west-northwest movement. You know, sometimes storms. You know, we get this strong Bermuda high, and sometimes models follow other models and pass. The system we're going to be watching after this guy is a tick more to the north, which it's not a lot to worry about. But if you got nothing to do, keep watching because there's another wave we're going to be talking about. It's about 4 or 5 days behind this one. It's going to be coming a little bit more to the north, possibly being something to worry about down the road. So that's next. So here's the guy. All right, so here's spaghetti models. The other spaghetti model map here shows the ensembles. So you get a little longer range on this guy. This is on the Southwest Florida Water Management. And there's cheers to Don if you're watching, Don. I only see 4 models at a time, or four comments at a time. So I feel bad sometimes I don't read everything, but I got to get into storm mode here. This is storm coverage from amateur meteorologist Mike, the weather guy. So I got Oldsmar coming today, and I remember I was saying I was working on the backdrop, so I got my cool pictures up. I'm ready for the photo op. Well, I had to look halfway professional. He came to the house and he was like, "This is all you got?" I think he was expecting like a huge studio. Here's your 5-day range. All right, so let's go back to Gonzalo. Everything Gonzalo now in the next 10 minutes. This is Gonzalo coverage 24/7. All right. I guess we can look at models. Let's look at Tropical Tidbits. And we got to look at the UK. We have not looked at the UK. He does not have the UK on his site. So I got to get the UK over here. So let's see what the Brits are saying. It's kind of funny. The Euro model and the UK model are both from England area. So, all right. So let's take a look at the UK model. So, you know, UK showed a little formation. You know, we got, you know, we know that. The other system, Gonzalo, it kind of dissipates it. And then here's that other one. So there's more model support for the storm that's not there than there is for a storm that is there. So the models aren't even showing what we got out there. So let's take a look at all of them like we do. So here's what we got in a nutshell. All right, so here is Gonzalo, and GFS keeps it kind of organized, and it has caught up to the CMC now. 1,003 millibar Saturday crossing the islands, and it has it kind of going into Hispaniola and kind of breaking apart. Now, what I talked about last night, same thing. Tuesday, Wednesday, if you're worried about timing, if this thing were to stay together, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, right here. And if it stayed together in the Gulf, Thursday, Friday, next week, a week from now. So if Gonzalo stays together and you're worried about timing, Western Caribbean, first part of the week, middle of the week, end of the week. So that's if it stayed together. and it's not showing that wave. It is a little bit right here. This is the wave that is coming off of Africa right now, right up in this area. This is the one the euro has been really consistent on. The only reason I'm pointing that one out is because it's had a little bit more model support and it's been really consistent. There's a lot of juicy air. There's not a lot of dust. So you got to put a little common sense in sometimes and believe in models. Just like Dorian, when I got my 2 a.m. phone call, people saying I was hyping, I was like, listen, if this thing stays together and it passes and misses Hispaniola, we got trouble. We had trouble. So conditions behind this one look a little bit more favorable for something to develop. That's why the models are picking it up. All right, so there's the GFS. Let's look at the overnight GFS, 000, the James Bond version. And, there you go, 991. I'm going to show you some hurricane-specific ones, too. But here's the GFS. See, look at it. I didn't even look at the double. We'll call the OOZ the James Bond run. So the OOZ, long time ago, somebody said the OOZ models and the 12Z models are better on the GFS because they get inputted fresh data. Don't know if it's true or not, but I always go back to the James Bond model, 000. And go from there. So, all right. So this is the overnight, and there you go. So timing here, Wednesday, Thursday next week, if it stays together. Now, low pressure here to the north. This model didn't show it, but we've been watching the upper level possible steering maps, looking ahead into next week, and if this thing stay together, there appears to be a weakness, and that would allow a little more northward pull. So that's just something to think about. There's a weakness right there. This is Friday next week, so possibility, this thing could pull up. Could. Always look at steering patterns, long range. They change daily, but overall, this is next Wednesday. High pressure, low pressure, high pressure. And these things ride around the high pressure and they get sucked up to the low pressure. And one of my family members just sneezed. Which one? Emily. All right, so there's that. All right, I'll promise I'll get back to reading comments. All right, so there's that. We were looking at, all right, let's go back to the Euro model now. All right, so here's the Euro. Euro, we're watching for the secondary wave. The Euro doesn't do anything with Gonzalo. It actually dissipates it before the islands. Now, I'll show you some current satellite. It does appear that Gonzalo has a huge road ahead of him. So the Euro could end up winning on that one. But it's showing nothing right here. Even though the NHC is showing hurricane here, Euro's saying nothing. So now we have a fight. We got a wild, wild west gunfight between the Euro and the NHC. Oh, gun feed. I want to do gunfight. We can do one of our funny graphics here. Let's see what kind of image comes up. There we go. So I need this one. We'll copy it. We'll make a quick funny little graphic here. And this is I can't post it because I'd probably get in trouble. But so we got the Euro versus the National Weather Service. Right there. There we go. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? All right. So here's the Euro. All right. So so it's dissipating Gonzalo, but this is what we're watching. This general low pressure here behind it, and it's been really steady on this low pressure here forming. So that's why we're going to talk about what's next on top of Gonzalo. So here's next Thursday, Friday. Take it for what it's worth. Passing over Hispaniola, but pretty healthy signature here, model after model of low pressure 10 days out. It's been steadily inching closer. So we go 7 days out. 7-day model run. So likely we're going to see at least a crayon soon. And there's a lot of model support with the CMC on this too. So we got 2 out of 3 showing the same thing. Here's the CMC. Next Thursday, Friday, and it's been pretty consistent next Friday, Saturday here. So that's what's next. Now, Gonzalo, again, the CMC, even though it picked it up first, kind of fizzles it out. So Gonzalo has a lot of models against it, other than the NHC, who's saying it's going to become a hurricane. Now, your hurricane-specific models, let's take a look. We looked at these little guys earlier. Here is your H-Wharf. Here's your Lesser Antilles Islands. So 976 millibar. And it's got it hanging on. It's got it hanging on until Hispaniola here. And it runs into Dominican Republic and Haiti. So, not good for them. But if, here's Monday next week, south of Puerto Rico. So something to keep your eye on. This model's not showing it die off like the other models. And then your HMON showing pretty much the same thing. A little less strength. Oh, that's wrong. That's Texas. We got to go to Gonzalo. And this is what it shows. Kind of the same thing. Here's your Lesser Antilles. Let me find out where they're at right there. Here's your islands. So 983. This is Saturday. Landfall somewhere around there. There's 981. And it kind of maintains it. Look at 984. This is next Sunday. And then gets awfully close to, I think that's Jamaica. 18 north. 978. Where's 18 north? I gotta look at my trusty this is 18 north. So 18 north. Yeah, Jamaica. So the HMON keeps at 978 on Monday, this Tuesday morning, just south of Jamaica. So again, two models there showing possibility that Gonzalo does not dissipate like the others are showing. So there's that. Let's take a look at some GFS ensembles real quick, and then we'll take a break, see what you guys are saying. So here's the GFS ensembles on Gonzalo. This is Monday morning. A lot of the cluster right here. And then it's kind of spreads them out next Wednesday, Thursday. If it stays together. That's a big if. If you look at current water vapor loop, the big talk on Twitter is the amount of dry air right now currently that this is facing. Lots of dry air to the north, lots of dry air to the west in front of it. And that's going to be a big hurdle for Gonzalo in the next day or two. So here it is again. This is all dry air. Now, this dry air to the north is part of the dust that we've been talking about, and it's moving a little bit quicker. Big high pressure to the north spins clockwise, so it's kind of pushing it. They call them easterlies and westerlies, but these winds are strong, and it's going to blow that out ahead of it. So it's got to deal with this dry air, but so far the Hurricane Center officially has it being a hurricane. Now when you go back out to the overall map, this dry air is going to push to the west, and look, very moist and juicy skies behind, allowing this next wave a chance to develop. So this one going to be interesting after this one. Conditions here look a little more favorable. Let's look at the dust map. Let's look at the precipitable water map real quick. And then we'll take a break and see. So here's your precipitable water map. So we got the dust, we got Gonzalo, and it's just fighting this dry air to the north. But it's got a lot of spin. That's what I wanted to show, is the amount of spin happening here. It has got tremendous spinach on our wind map, and that is going to keep it together. So, hey, Lindsey Gregory, that's a good point. That's usually what happens. We get one of these guys make their way across. The one behind it is usually the tricky one. But as far as core goes, very good structure. 700 millibar. Look at that. Here's these strong easterlies above pushing that dust. But look how tightly wound up Gonzalo is, even at 500 millibar. So that's the only thing it's got going for it, man. It's got a lot of spinach. Um, so there you go. We'll have to see. It's going to be watch, wait, and see. Some of the intensity models are all over the place. A lot of them showing strengthening and continue to strengthen past 5 days into category 1, 2. Some of them have it weaken into tropical storm day 5. So a little bit of argument there, but I always think these little spinners have a really good shot to stay together. Once they have that seed, that tropical seed, Whitney, yep, they're it's a hard thing to kill. You know, the hurricane graveyard, as they call it, where you have a lot of shear down here. This is sometimes where they get shredded apart. You can see the upper level winds, but we'll have to see how it does right here. This is where it's got to survive, and then if it does, then it'll definitely have a chance to re-intensify into the Western Caribbean where the waters are warm. You know, land interaction. I mean, if it does end up going into Hispaniola, that'll definitely help shred it. Unfortunately for them, but if it passes to the south, then you know it'll enjoy those warm waters. So that's all we gotta watch, really, on that. So let's look at windy, I guess. Look at some of the impacts real quick, and then I got, oh, what's that? Extreme warning. Oh, it's heat. All right, so here's your Euro map, by the way, showing some of the winds tomorrow. This is Friday, 1 p.m. So there's our little low pressure. All right, so let me pull this up. Let's look at. I'll leave something up here, and then we'll see what everybody's saying. Let's check out our Gulf blob, and then we'll take a coffee break. Hey Bob, I don't know about that. Interesting. I know that air travel was supposed to affect hurricane modeling because a lot of the airplanes that weren't flying collect the wind data, but I think a lot of planes are back flying, so I haven't seen that article in a while. But I did read that commercial planes actually help collect data that gets fed into the models. So, hey Bobby, what's up? Morning. Hey, Hurricane Douglas, Brenda, yeah, let's talk about that real quick. I hate to only focus on our side of the world, but Douglas is expected to possibly be a major hurricane. It is ramping up. It is now expected to be a major hurricane. What that means is it is going to weaken before Hawaii, but it's going to take longer to weaken. So Hawaii definitely could possibly have a hurricane, which is rare for them. It's always rare. They have a lot of cool water, but Hurricane Douglas is definitely ramping up. It's 120 mile an hour winds right now. And check this out. I mean, it blew up. Everything's blowing up. Major hurricane. We can take a good look at it here. Let's take a look at it on Tropical Tidbits. He's got all his current storms up here. You can find them. Douglas. But look at this. It is impressive. That is Hurricane Douglas out in the Pacific. Possibly being a hurricane nearing Hawaii. So those folks definitely are in the path. Timing is Sunday. Still, we talked about this a couple times, but look at that. Could pass a tick to the north, but the whole islands are in the cone. There's no escape. Gilligan, what are you gonna do, Gilligan? See you, Jen. Thank you. So they're a couple years ago we talked about Hawaii in the news, and now we're talking about Hawaii again. So they don't usually get a lot of hurricanes. You would think they would out there smack dab in the middle of the Pacific, but somebody call Gilligan and Marianne and tell them to come out of the shack and get ready. So that is pretty big. It's a buzzsaw. So let's hope this Gulf blob doesn't decide to do the same thing. Only has 1 day over open water. So, hey Kevin, baseball game in Washington D.C. That's a good one. I haven't really been keeping up with the rest of the world. Let me close some windows. I got a good simple H map here. I have on my bookmark tab. We can look. There's a chance. There's a little storm action coming This is your next 16 hours. So, it's spotty rains. It might be okay. It might be coming in from behind. I think there's a window that it might be raining after the game. Here's your rains. You know, Florida rains are developing. Central Florida again, real moist and juicy. In Florida today. Storms are going to develop, move across state fast. That's a lot of rain. That's today. Look at that. So that's today's rains, man. We're gonna have a lot of rain in Florida. Look at that. It's sucking all that juice up from Tropical Depression 8. That's a lot of water. A lot of water. Let's go to Louisiana. That'll kind of give us the upper Gulf Coast. There's the rain bands coming in through today. It's kind of fun to go back to the future. Oh, I just closed my window. Oh, God, did I close everything? No, I didn't. All right, so let's go back to spaghetti models and see what you guys are saying. You're right, Julio, right. Yep. No lightning. That's a good sign. No lightning yet. Lightning usually, cloud top, convective bursts, and lightning, two signs that we're going to watch for as far as center developing. Nothing yet. So that's good news. But still, conditions are very favorable. I want to look at a dust map. This is pretty neat. So that dust that's right above the dry air, right above Gonzalo, is actually going to move faster than Gonzalo is moving, and it's going to go in front of it. Here's that big plume. It's like a big jellyfish. So somewhere down here is Gonzalo. This plume is actually moving faster than Gonzalo is. See it? Here's Gonzalo, and then here's that plume. So there's a little break in the dust coming. So the 27th, which is 4 days from now, that would be Monday, and that's kind of what the models were showing. If we did have this thing hold together, we could have Monday, Tuesday landfall in Hispaniola, but there's going to be, this dust is actually moving quicker than Gonzalo, and it'll have a little bit of dryness behind. So, you know, it can survive it. You know, then there's the dust. So the dust will fade away next week. So it's, you know, it's got a tough road ahead. But if it makes it through, and here's our other little spinner. It's got some dust too, but it's also got a break. See, all those dust kind of breaks up past the islands. So our next little spinner is going to be right here. This is next week's system we're watching. And not making it up, it's actually on our global hazards map here too. Right here, this guy. So real quick, then I want to talk to everybody. If this all materializes in the worst case scenario, this is last night's. So this is what we could be looking at next week. Let's say Thursday, Wednesday, midweek. So if everything materializes, the worst case scenario, we'll have a system next midweek nearing the islands, and then we'll have Gonzalo hanging out midweek somewhere down here. So this is what we could be looking at this time next week if it all pans out. A lot of the models are saying Gonzalo is going to die, and at this point it's 50-50 shot because it's such a tiny little guy, but it's got a lot of spinach. So I think that's going to be, my gut's telling me that it'll weaken but possibly reignite here in the Western Caribbean if it doesn't cross over Hispaniola. That can help shred it. And this little guy has got me really curious. So, and then let's look at the ensemble map, because it's probably scary looking. It is. So 10-day ensemble map. This is your all the members of the Euro. So 10 days out. Here's our secondary wave. These are all the big bad scary models are your secondary wave starting to show development 10 days away. So this could be, you know, not high confidence, but enough to keep your eyes open to this next wave, because there are quite a few of these the next 2 weeks from now, showing that secondary wave coming in behind Gonzalo as possibly being something to watch. So nothing to get all worked up about yet, but just keep your eye open. And then we got this little cool map we can take a look at, and this is showing probability tropical storm. Chance is pretty high as it comes across here. So just something to think about. And we actually got some color here by Texas, which we know now because NHC is even calling it. So cool. All right, what else we got? So Lauren, all right, I'm gonna do Romper Room now. Weather model. Oh yeah, North American. Yeah, you wanted me to show you that yesterday. We can look at the African precipitable water map. I have to get the right link though. Let's see here. Where can we go? Let's take a look at Africa. Which one is it? Casper. Let's see. I got so many countries here. So Casper was talking about the amount of moisture over Africa, and you remember a couple weeks ago I posted the African anomalies for rain is almost 100%. So they've pretty much have gotten record rains across Africa the first part of the year. So that's an indicator that international. I can't multitask, Casper. I have to know where the click is. Like if they move the model on me, I would go crazy. Probably global. Let's see. Just not seeing it. North Pacific, North Atlantic. See, we don't have that's ocean waves. Send me the link. Now I'll show it tonight. But anyway, Africa anomalies have been extremely high as far as moisture goes, and that's an indicator that these waves are going to be juicing things up. Here's the hurricane hunters getting ready to go out. So we love them. I'll retweet them and like it. Oh, look at that. Levi just posted. So we're going to have recon heading out to Tropical Depression 8 in a few hours. Key thing to watch for the development is a well-defined wind maximum close to the circulation as opposed to the broad low we have had. Once that occurs, quicker strengthening is possible. Good point. So if we get a tight close low, then it's on like Donkey Kong. And where did that phrase come from? I don't know. It's on like Donkey Kong. Where did that come from? Let's see images. Hopefully don't get any too many I need to have safe filter on. There you go. It's on like Donkey Kong. So you can turn that ringer off, Thank you. All right, so there's that. Let's go back to Twitter. So here's Ben Knoll. He's a great climate predictor, and he always posts anomalies, weeklies. He said this is one of the strongest subseasonal signals for hurricane action in recent memory. That's not a good sign. This is kind of what you're talking about, Casper. This is the convective phase going over Africa and the amount of moisture. So on the same lines, Africa is really getting juicy, and that allows these waves to come across Africa and onto the Atlantic. So here's a good map. Look at this. This is the wave map for what we could see for seas. And I did add that link, by the way. So Tropical Depression 8, you can click right here on potential storm surge map. That's our Sierra site, and it'll start updating soon what kind of wind, waves we can expect. And luckily right now there's not a lot showing. But if the system strengthens, this gets updated. So make sure you check that link. It's got the NHC storm track. It's got, you know, current wave prediction and surge predictions that you can follow. So that's a good site. And of course, the marine messages showing the waves. And I got all kinds of wave maps on my site here down below. You can see potential animated wave maps, wave height maps, and they're all animated, and you can kind of follow along, change your zone. So they're over here if you want to see that. All right, see what else we got on Twitter. And here's Hurricane Douglas. Look at that. That's current Weather Channel imagery. That sucker, bad Douglas. That's over there, and luckily expected to weaken before Hawaii. But I think it's going to have a harder time weakening the tropical storm, being that it's already a major. Jim Cantori posted 3 minutes ago, Gonzalo looking quite ill. It does look quite ill, other than the deep down spinach behind it. I think everybody's missing that point. That dust is going to push out ahead of Gonzalo and give it a little more opportunity to come back. So as long as that core stays intact, we're going to be talking about it for a few days. Here's another good point an hour ago, talking about the dry air getting into Gonzalo. So that's definitely the one factor that can deter him. So going back to the page, I got so many cool links I forget about, but you know, I got Tropical Stuff 1 up here. This one, let me close the windows here. I got so many links that I forget about sometimes, but we got, let's go to Gonzalo. You can click on that. This is where you get current fixes, Dvorkian fixes. You got current winds. If you want to see all this satellite stuff that everybody else uses, I got all the links on here. That's up here, Tropical Stuff number 1. Also, Tropical Stuff number 2 is even more, showing core temperatures. That's way beyond my brain, but it's all updated outputs from the Euro. Some of it you gotta have a password. Euro you do. That one, Tropical Stuff 3, is the long range ensemble map showing the blend of ensembles and what we can expect. It's a good site to go. Obviously, we're seeing storm development here now. I love that one. Tropical Stuff number 4 is the Navy site. Experiencing processing issues. Look at that. That's why you gotta have backup sites. So the Navy site's down. Trouble Stuff number 5 is this CIMSS site. I love it. You click on each storm, and this is where you get those details. I posted the color earlier. This one, you actually are your own weather person. You can zoom in. You can click IR. You can click satellite, water vapor loop. You can do real water vapor loop. You can turn off latitude. You can turn off track latitude. You can turn off land. You can put on convergence, wind passes. You can, I mean, everything. Models, sea surface temps, ocean heat content. So it's great. I love this map. You can do convergence and divergence. You can really make it confusing and just click everything. Let's just click all the links and go play some Jimi Hendrix and drink some beer. Look at that. All right, look at that. I clicked them all. We just went psycho. Look at that. So over here we got anyway, all right. So I'm gonna read everything what's going on. I know, I'm watching and waiting. All right, what do you got? I haven't looked because I've been digesting everything. So in a nutshell, you know, TD8 has more of a window to strengthen in the next 24 hours than Gonzalo does. Gonzalo is expected to be a hurricane, though, any minute, but it definitely has the winds to support it. Down below, it just looks ugly. See if we got any recent passes on it we can look at. I don't see any. Kind of missed out every time. So no clear path yet. Pass. This is a site they sometimes use to make their early predictors on wins. But we can go back up here. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at what Gonzalo wins show. So, yeah, some of the analysis here. 50, it's starting to get up there. Hurricane hunters aren't out there yet. They're going into Tropical Depression 8 here in a couple hours. So anyway, all right. Whew. That was a run. No wonder I get tired during the day. All right, so Jessica, you're welcome. Thanks for there. Hey, Katie Haley, what's up? Katie, I get all you Katies confused. We got a little coffee left. Julie wants to get me Dunkin' today. Look, and you know the biggest pet peeve I have about Dunkin' Donuts is that. Why the hell can't they put the lid on these things? Jesus. Oh, God, Louis. I agree. You tell him, Louis. You tell him. The ferocious. Yeah, Jason, more than likely I will, man. Hey, Tia, yep. I loved your coffee. I gave it back to my mom and dad. They loved it. All right, hey, Louis, come here. Knock it off. Louis. All right, Shelly. Shelly's always my Facebook advisor. So I made a backup account, by the way. You might want to bookmark it. Facebook had an issue yesterday. So I made my second. I luckily didn't buy it. I made it years ago. Tropical updates. So I even changed the title to say Mike's backup Facebook page. So I was able to post pictures on this and then share it on my real page. So you never know. And I'm going to cross post the videos on here because there might be a day that you might be a fan of this page and not the other one, or both of them, and I'll be able to put the live on both of these at the same time. So that'll increase your odds of getting stuck with me. Louis, what is he barking at? All right, so Cindy, I don't know, probably 8 o'clock tonight. 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. I just woke your dog up, Doug. Hey, I can mess with you guys too. Alexa, play Sweet Home Alabama. And she even had a tone. She goes, "Here's Sweet Home Alabama on Alexa." Alexa, stop. Don't get me copyrighted. Hey, Aaron. Oh, come on, Louie. Brandon, what's up, buddy? Pre-hurricane. Yeah, isn't that weird? We got this storm. All right, man. Now, what is he talking about? What is out there? He never barks. Yeah, so back to Florida. We got this strong flow. We got this strong Bermuda high. Look at that. The old Floridians, the old crackers like me. I'm not old enough yet to call myself old. I'm 46. I had to ask my wife. And I feel like I'm 18.
You act like it.
I act like it sometimes. But here's that strong Bermuda high. So we got, Florida, even all the coasts, Carolinas. This is classic strong Bermuda high setup. And any of these waves are going to do this little whoop-de-doop down around. Whether or not they go here, we just wait and see. It all depends where they get kicked down. 10 degree, 12 degree, 13 degree. Our next wave is going to be a little higher rider than Gonzalo. That's why we're seeing the ensembles. Maybe it'll show. Let's see. It's not quite an invest yet, so I don't know. I think it'll still show out here, though. We might be able to see on Weather Nerds the new system coming. I don't know. We'll see. Watch right here. Yeah, there's a new one. So there's a new guy right there. See, that's the new low we're going to be watching. And it's a little bit higher than Gonzalo, which means upper islands need to watch it. And then we have that classic. Does it go here, or even be there? But so Gonzalo is more of a low rider, and this next guy is going to be a little higher rider. And we get these ensembles coming off of here, but I'm not going to pay attention to that. I'm tired of tracking East Coast Gulf Stream 24-hour one-night stands. Poor Dolly got used up. All right, so, oh, Daisy, you missed all the fun. Why are you doing that? Yeah, Brandon, the models have been awful this year. I cannot believe it. That's why I love looking at all the models. The NHC brought up the Icon model, which I'm surprised. Let's take a look at that because that was for Gonzalo. Let's see what the Icon showed. Let's see what the old Germans are up to. That's the name of my golf cart. It's an Icon. That's cool. Yeah, see, I put a Drunk Donkey sticker on my Icon, and it's named after. Is that the name of it? Icon. Icon. Golf cart. Yep. That's what I got. Icon. That little guy. Okay, so I have a Hurricane model golf cart. I didn't even realize it. I'm cool. All right. So we're watching the Icon, and it doesn't. It kind of starts to redevelop it right here. So it's got to get through all this mess, and then it's gonna, it depends. I'm telling you, if it stays away from land, we'll have to see. So all right. Where's that rain map? Hey Jackie, I don't have that rain map on my site, but on my site, if you click up here, HRRR in the very upper left, that's off Tropical Tidbits, and it's the same data. HRRR is a rapid refresh model, and if it's still loading this hour, you got to go up here and rewind it to 12Z, 11Z, whatever. So 13Z is actually ran all 18 hours because it updates every hour, and you can play it, and you can see the rain is really going to start popping here soon in Florida, and then all that moisture is going to get pulled up. So later this afternoon, big time rain in Florida, and it's going to be going east to west. Big time rains. Look at that. And Levi his brain is probably 10 times bigger than my brain, and he has 19Z here, and I have to cheat. So if you ever get confused, I got a link under here that tells you your UTC time conversion. So if you got 19Z, you go down here. 19Z is 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. See, 19Z, 3 p.m. Eastern. So then I go back to my model and say, hey, 3 p.m. we're going to have storms in Florida. So they're going to pop. They're popping early today. Look at that. All this Florida juice. That's all this moisture. No dry air on our neck of the woods here. Lots of wetness. And we can take a look at that. Where is my Earth map? Why is it not working? So I go to goes east. There we go. So we can click on the Gulf, and we can look at dry air, and well, let's loop it. Let's take a look. Well, it's kind of hard to see there, but there you go. Look, got a little upper low. But anyway, all this is moisture. No dry air. Precipitable water is off the charts. Actually, I haven't shown this one in a while. I gotta fix that default. Oh, there it goes. Okay, there it is. Precipitable water. Look at that. They even use the word moist. Bay News 9. Mike Clay and I think alike. Yeah, you better jump in the pool now. You're gonna get wet. Doesn't that sound funny? It's never fun to swim in a pool when it's not sunny out. Betty, I'm not sure about daylight savings. Don't go there. Now I even feel stupider. Stupider, is that even a word? Let's see. Is stupider is stupider a word? Stupid. Why is stupider not a word? Is stupider a word? Stupider is the comparative form of the adjective stupid, because stupid is a two-syllable word. It's comparative form. So it's saying it could be. Stupider. How do you use stupider in a sentence? Thing A is stupid. Thing B is stupider. So there you go. You don't need to send your kids back to school. You can just have them come to Mike's weather page, and we can learn the English language. Just put an edge on the back of everything, and we're cool. Like stormage. All right, so yeah, we got a lot of surfers too. So we're gonna get a lot of waves and winds, obviously on the East Coast with this high pressure. So I'm sure it's pretty windy down this way. Normal stuff along the Carolina coast. But we're really going to be watching next week. Timing again. I know everybody likes timing questions, including myself. If we were talking about a system next week, this is 10 days out, and that would be next weekend, this second. So if this second wave behind Gonzalo forms, this would be the following weekend. So a long way away. A lot of ifs. But it's not going to be so far away Monday next week. It could be right here. So I hope that makes sense. Formage. All right. We can do that. We can look at that precipitable water map on the Euro and GFS. Let's take a look at GFS and do tropical Atlantic. And we can see the moisture here. This is Gulf moisture. Gonzalo has a little moisture field. Here's the big moisture field behind. And so there's Gonzalo. If Gonzalo right here technically could be next Tuesday, Wednesday right here. Our next wave somewhere back there. Let's go to the Euro though. The Euro is going to show it a little better. Here's Gonzalo drying up over the weekend on the Euro. And then here's our next system on the Euro. A little bit more juiciness. Really juiciness. So it even shows a little guy behind it too. But this has been consistent. So there's that. All right. Hey, Casper. Hey, guess what, too? Supporters, I figured out how to, I can see comments now because I changed, I guess I joined the chat. So anyway, if you're wondering why I'm posting in the supporter comments, I can see them sometimes in my news feed. So that makes me feel better. I can at least do it. Oh, I have Grammar Police? Great. Yeah, I love it. All right, you guys are great. Yes, Doug Pierce, correct. The Cape Verde season appears to have started early, and there's no sign of letting up because it's the season. Unfortunately, we could be tracking these for very many months. You become numb to it, but we could be very busy, very busy. And then we'll end it with this little guy. This reminds me of taking the an IQ test or something when you're in kids in school and you were information overload. This is your day 3 to 7 hazard outlook map. And I swear, I put a map down and gave Louis a crayon, and he went. So try to make sense of that. It kind of makes sense, I guess, but I don't know. Megan, well, time frame on that other system, if it were to be anything, 10 days out, it would be somewhere around middle Caribbean, Saturday, Sunday of next week, following week, if it did anything. That's a general time frame, this big circle right here. So the following weekend, August 2nd, 1st and 2nd, right here. So that's a good question, Brian. We'll be going into the Greek alphabet, no doubt. The pace that we're on, we're almost halfway through the names already. We're going to stop at Wilford, and then it goes into the Greek alphabet. And here's the Greek alphabet. So we would be going to Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Epsilon, Zeta. So, looking kind of likely. All right, cool. I guess I better update. Hey, we got a new NAC update coming out. Let's take a look. Did it come out yet? No. They've got the Hurricane Hunters flying out there soon, though. So we'll see. They're probably not going to do much changes on their forecast until the Hurricane Hunters go out there and get an idea if it has a true center. And as Levi just pointed out, the center is a little broad right now, but if it does develop a little tighter chord center, then we're going to have to really watch this thing for some strengthening before landfall. Golf blobs, I'm telling you. Nope, Cheryl. But I'm not trying to sell shirt. Well, I am, because the beer tab gets expensive sometimes. But I think it's funny that we had this shirt made couple months, well, over a month now, and it's because all winter long, in early part of the year, we watch these blobs blow up, and our regulars will tell you I don't have any reason for it. I just said the models this year, every system that we saw come off of Texas blew up, and the models, we had a lot of blobs coming towards Florida, so I made a shirt. I watch blobs and spinach. And I guess I sold a few of them, but they're funny. Now, if you look at current satellite, it's almost two blobs. It's almost the exact picture, which is like, am I like a weather psychic? I don't know. Am I? I don't know. But anyway, so there we go. We got, a couple blobs. We could compare the shirt. Look, it almost is the same. Big blob, little blob. Well, here, let's. Was that something I said? Or did you, Julie? Oh, she's dreaming. Okay, sorry. Well, I thought I said something. All right, so there's that, and then we'll go to the shirt and compare how close it really was. Well, that wasn't the right one. So this guy, come on. Copy image. Let's go. Come on. We ain't got time for this. All right. So let's see here. Let's zoom in and compare. We don't want that one. Let's see. Put in a new picture. No, we don't. I'm gonna have to. I clicked the wrong one. Oh, there was that. All right. So technically, look at that. Technically, that guy is that guy. That guy is that guy. And look, it's right between Texas and Florida. So that's funny. All right. So that could be Hannah. Hannah's got blobs. Hannah Montana. What's a good Hannah Montana song? What kind of songs does she sing? I can't play them, but we can look at them. I know before she got crazy, I liked her as a country singer. See if she's got any. We don't want Wrecking Ball. We got to find a good hurricane song that Hannah Montana sings. Pumping Up the Party. No, I want my mullet back. But I liked her when she was country. There was a song she did with her dad that was really good. Butterfly or something, or what the hell was it? It was something about Butterfly Fly Away. I like that song. And I drink seltzer beer. Don't judge. All right, well, seriously, I gotta post. All right, so hey, listen, thank you, everybody. I'll be live tonight, and I apologize I don't read everybody's comments. I wish I could. I love you. Yeah, Bobby, I loved her dad too, man. He had one album. Man, I grew up loving a couple of his songs, man. He had some sad country songs. So, all right, Stephanie, what's up there? Heart of the season. Yep. Cantori's probably heading toward Middle Texas. 11 a.m.'s coming out any minute. They usually do the text update and then they do the graphical update. Jim Cantori just posted. So we're waiting on NAC. Any second, NAC is going to update, so I'll be ready for that. So, all right, listen, I'll post an event that seems to help people find out if you got nothing better to do than watch me. And make sure you check the Tom and Dan show. I was excited to be on it yesterday, and we are going to possibly do a podcast daily. So if you're into podcasting, he's going to help set up a podcast, basically the audio from our show into a podcast, and he thinks it might be big. So he wants to help me do that. So I'm going to let him help me do that. So stay tuned for that if you're a podcaster. And listen. All right, I got to go. See you, Diehead Coneheads. Yep, Shelly. 8 p.m. sounds like a good time. So we're going to do 8 p.m. So we'll see you tonight, 8 p.m. You Coneheads out there. Be good. See ya.